don't want to date down, which is a huge crock of shit because I know a lot of black girls who, nigga, the bar is on the fucking ground. Date down? Date down? In the immortal emotions of Soulja Boy, date down? Date down? That's all we do is date down. Okay, let me keep going. He goes on to talk about with the massive criteria that black women don't want in when dating, and this is he graduated with. I'm just reading it the way it was written. With this massive criteria that black women don't want in when dating a black man, they have essentially drastically limited the dating pool of viable black men that majority of black women are currently after, which means everyone doesn't get picked, and statistically 70% of black women go on to be unmarried. He goes on to talk about the X factor, citing that attractiveness, even if this man does have a lot going on for himself, will he be attractive like he himself is? He also says that he is now gaining access to a very small percentage of black men that are young. He is under 30 with 2 degrees, single and attractive, and heterosexual, and he has no criminal record, no baby mama drama, and has some form of high-paying career potential that majority of black women are competing against each other for. Now, he ends this by saying, you tell me who the real prize is. Well, listen, I want to say this. I think that kudos to this young black man for being under 30, for graduating with 2 degrees, for earning his law degree, for not having baby mama drama. He didn't specifically say he does not have a kid. He said he does not have baby mama drama. All I can say is I still consider myself the prize, even though I may not always act as such when I'm with someone. I think he is a prize. Don't get me wrong. Young man, you are a prize. Not only because of all of the accolades that you have earned, but because of your stick-to-itiveness, your diligence, and your level of consistency whilst chasing these things. Now, I don't want to assume that your consistency and focus of chasing degrees and chasing a certain kind of lifestyle for yourself will translate to you being an emotionally, having an emotional EQ that is befitting a young man who has chased all these accolades. For all I know, you could be emotionally retarded and latent. You could have graduated and done all of these things, but still know how to ghost a girl like no other. So, yes. Are you an IBM? You are an ideal black man. Yes, you are. On paper, you look fantastic. But I know a lot of niggas who look great on paper, who are an emotional wreck, who have the intellectual quotient of a daffodil. So, having all of those things also doesn't mean that you're going to share any of that with me. And when I say share that with me, I mean like, okay, you've got this earning potential. Are you going to build with me? Or are you going to be so cognizant of your singular success that that's going to stop you from wanting to partner up with anybody? Because I know a lot of niggas who have built up and amassed a lot for themselves and who are stuck in a place of, I ain't really trying to get with nobody because I'm not trying to share my coin. I know a lot of people who are like that. A lot of people whose success has gotten to them to a point where they'll never get married. You know, I'm not going to front. I've been thinking about that throughout this whole week. If I am not partnering up with someone right now, the chances of me partnering up with that person post my success or post any kind of financial gain would be impossible. I wouldn't trust them. At least anybody that were to come who already existed. Let me say that. If you are already in my life and you didn't choose me when I didn't have shit, I'm probably not gonna let you do it to me after, okay? But yeah, do you guys think, do you think that he is the prize? Because I think from the standpoint that I'm looking at it, that doesn't negate him from being like this really great guy on paper. But again, that doesn't mean that this person is going to share anything with you. I'd rather take a guy who has a high school diploma, who is still working out here doing his fucking thing, okay? Who may have had a rocky start, but you know what? He got his head in the game and he out here building and he doing for himself. I'd take him over the nigga who looks great on paper, who's a fucking emotional tard. Truly. I'm not beat. I'm not going to front. When I first graduated, I think maybe in my 20s, I definitely wanted someone who was going to, on paper, match me. But I think that as I've gotten older, I seek growth. And I don't necessarily know that I want someone who is on every level with me. I don't know. But that's just me. All right, so let's go ahead and deep dive into music because I know that's where y'all want to go. So this week has been a really power-packed week in the music industry. Drake dropped his this is not an album. This is, I guess like he's calling it just like a little quick release for fans. He is still slated to drop an album before the end of the year. I would guess to say before the end of the summer, we get something from Drake. Most of these songs, and the album's called Dark Lean Demo Tapes. Most of these songs I've heard before. The Chicago Freestyle and When to Say When. He released videos for those simultaneously. Deep Pockets, I also heard that. The one thing I heard, Desires, I heard D4L. The one thing I will say is, what's the deal with him dropping that song with Drake? And truly, there was dropping that song with Drake, dropping that song with Chris Brown. And to be honest with you, I didn't really hear too much Chris Brown on that shit. Was it me? Where is Chris Brown on the song? He's in there, but I just didn't hear too much of him. Besides that, we also had JoJo. She dropped something. Good to Know. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a really great, I've listened to a lot of it. It's a pretty solid effort from JoJo. It is not the JoJo that I want. It's the one that I got. It's a lot about her, just being a woman and taking dick and doing all this stuff and whatever. I'm not there right now. So yeah, sorry. I thought it's good. It's good. It's not great. It's good, We got also remixes from Doja Cat as well as Meg Thee Stallion. Now, Doja Cat released the Say So remix with featuring Nicki Minaj. A lot of the general consensus is that we didn't need this. Now, I'm not saying we, I don't want to include myself. I mean, I'm a huge Doja Cat fan. And I love the work that she's doing. I love how creative she's allowing herself to be. She just seems to have a lot of personality and a lot of staying power and potential. So I'm so excited to see where her career is going to go to. But in terms of the the remix, I feel like there are other songs that I would have probably preferred to hear Doja and Nicki collaborate on. I don't know. I don't know. Say So is such a solid song that, like, I don't know if I needed the remix to be like this either, because, whatever. Meg Thee Stallion gave us the Savage remix, which, quite frankly, I'm savaged out. We talked about this already. It's a whole new version because the lean is more on Beyonce because it's featuring Beyonce. I think the Much Ado About Nothing that's being talked about right now was Nicki talking about Beyonce in the outro of the, because there are two Say So remixes, but on the massively released Say So remix is Nicki coming for Beyonce when she kind of gets into the line about your real ass didn't keep your man home and fillers and you looking crazy. And this came amidst Beyonce on the Savage remix saying that if you want to see a real ass, come over here, blah, da, 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 da. Beyonce's, on her, like, Queen Bee, like, when she gets into that, if you want to see, when she gets into that register and she does that thing. So, Beyonce's going there, and I don't know. I don't know if, now, allegedly, people were assuming that Nicki was talking about Wendy, and Nicki made it her point to come and say, hey, this is not about Wendy Williams, and you need to listen to the outro, peep the outro of the official Say So remix. I felt like that was a lot. If you're making it a point to specifically say it's not about Wendy, and, like, if you ask me something, right, and I say, you ask me, hey, who were you talking to? And I say, it's none of your business, but I do know that he looks so good. It's like, bitch, either it's none of my business or you're going to tell me. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like Nicki was being like, do you want us to fish for this? Because you're sending us fishing. You're telling us that it's specifically not about somebody when you could have just left it up in the air. But you're pointing out that this is not about this person and that you want people to dig deeper. You're not coming out and saying that it's not about Beyonce. And I feel like if there's anybody that you are going to want to defend yourself, I don't know. I feel like if there's anybody that Nicki would want to defend herself and say, hey, no, it's definitely not about her, it would be Beyonce. It wouldn't be Wendy Williams. You know what I mean? Like, if she's going to jump out there and say, yo, I know already that y'all are probably going to say it's about this person. I want to say that it's specifically not about this person. I didn't think that she would jump out here and want to choose Wendy as being her person. I think that she would choose Beyonce as now I know that this is just all par for the course. Hopefully nobody's talking about anybody, and hopefully we can just get the music without it being some sort of cattiness in there. But hope springs eternal. Speaking of which, we're also, speaking of hope and things for us to be hopeful about, we are getting the verses that we've all wanted, of a true verses. We are getting Erykah Badu versus Jill Scott on May 9th. I am super excited about this because those are two of my favorite artists. And these are not just musicians. They are not just singers. They're not just performers. These two women are artiste. These women, I want to be clear about that because, you know, we have rappers, we have singers, we have entertainers, we have performers, we have musicians, we have singers, we have